Advance Wars, good luck!
Hello, hello. Bonjour à tous. And yeah, this is Advance Wars, and you probably know the guy behind me, kirbymastah.
Hi, I'm here again. I forgot to bring Terry on for my run, so he's here, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So Advance Wars, a pretty known tactical game back from 2001, and also the first introduction to the War series that existed since the NES in Japan, and this is the first game that we got in the western side.
Yep.
So yeah, this is going to be pretty similar to Fire Emblem, but not quite. There's quite a few changes. One of them is that, well, we don't have heroes, we just have units that you can build, so we can sacrifice them, which leads to pretty interesting strats. So let's go straight away. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go. So yeah, in Advance Wars, your objective in the majority of missions is to capture the HQ. I'm not going to go over like what every single unit does. That's just information bloat and stuff. If you play the game, you know what everything does. If you don't only need to know basics. So blue is Olaf. He's our opponent in this mission. Red is our units. And if you see all the little human icons, those are infantry and mech. Those are the most important units in the game because they're really weak and not mobile. But they are the only units in the game that can capture. And given our objective is to either kill everything on the screen, which is slow, or just capture HQ, which is way faster. Our goal is usually to get an infantry unit to HQ. So the other unit that we have that's important to note is an APC unit. So you kind of see that little rectangular thing. Yep, that thing. That is a transport unit. And transport units can carry infantry. And infantry typically only have 3 move, which is really slow. APC has a lot more than that.
6.
Yep. So literally double the movement. So we're going to try to get our infantry over to HQ so we can capture as soon as possible, and then make sure the infantry is kept at full HP and alive by using distractions.
So this M tank here might look really scary, and at this point it may seem like it's absolutely impossible for me to win, but it's not counting for the amazing AI and glitches there is in this game.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, when an enemy tank attacks from a city, which you can kind of see with the really big tank near the infantry, the next turn, it doesn't move for whatever reason in some cases. And this is one of those cases where we take advantage of that. That MD tank could have easily just went over to our infantry and bopped it, but instead, it left us alone, and we just captured it in 2 turns.
I win! S rank.
S rank, let's go.
Well, the problem with S rank is that I'm going to get more coins here, and that's a little bit slower, but hey, it's a faster strat, so it's just better to take the coins.
Yeah, your ranking system focuses more on your tactics, which is basically how many turns. And this game the map design is actually really clever because like there's a lot of fast turn skips that we do that are actually intended in this game, so that's pretty clever. And the other rankings are basically survival, not losing many units, and then combat, which is basically killing as many units as possible. They're slow, so we're not going to worry about that. So the HQ in this map is in the upper right corner, and there's a bit of a 1-tile choke point we need to get across. So we're going to try to get an APC unit carrying an infantry all the way across, but there's a lot of enemy units in the way that are really dangerous. So we're going to be building some recon units right here. They are one of the cheapest vehicles in the game at only 4,000, and they're really weak. They're primarily used for like vision and stuff, but they're mobile and they're cheap. So we're going to be using them as bait, basically. And distractions to make sure that, because again, we can sacrifice any units that we want in this game, as long as the key units, our infantry, is alive and able to capture HQ. There you go.
So we didn't mention it, but there is a COs in this game, and every COs have some pros and cons to it. Grit is really, really strong in direct units, and they also have +1 range. But at the downside is he has weaker direct units.
And by indirect and direct, we basically mean range and not range. So in this game, you can kind of see on grid side, there are 2 rockets in the upper right corner of the screen. Those are indirect combat units. They can attack from 3 to 5 tiles and hit you really hard. For example, so they're really strong because grit is using them. But in this game, ranged units cannot attack while they move. You have to have not moved in order to attack. Whereas direct combat units like tanks, they can move and attack. So your indirect ranged units, such as the artillery we just used, have to already be positioned in order to attack.
Yeah, and it works really well when you've got choke points like this map. So really we're playing in a map that is advantageous to grid, and that's why it's taking a little bit to get there, but
Snipe attack. So this is a CO power, and whenever you deal damage and or take damage, your CO power charges up. And your CO power gives you like a plus, I think it's like a plus 10% attack and defense boost to everything, on top of a character-specific, CO-specific power. So like Grit's indirect combat units got +1 range.
+2, actually.
+2 range, and they're all just stronger in general when he uses his power. But you can kind of see us as using a lot of bait to distract the tanks and taking advantage of enemy AI. So that MD tank could have easily just bopped us, but it's blocked in by our baits to make sure that it can't bop our infantry. And there we go. That's mission 2.
Stop calling me Junior! Alright, so the first 2 missions are actually actually the third one as well is also one of the hardest one because there is a lot of movements that we have to do. And in general, if you follow, if you've seen Kirby's runs of Fire Emblem, you know that having as little movement to do as possible in a turn is usually better than having less turns to do. So, yeah.
Yep. So this is the first map where we fight against Eagle. He is a air specialist. He's green. And this is also the first map where we get introduced to air units in general. So we have a few B-copters, T-copters, and so on. We're not going to go over what all of those are because that's just too much information. The most important one is the T-copter. So you can kind of see like a little helicopter with 2 propellers kind of at the bottom. legrandgrand's going to be moving it a lot. See, that one. Yep. That's a transport copter, and it does what it sounds like. It's another transport unit. And since our goal is to get an infantry over to HQ, and we can't really get our APC over due to all the terrain, we need to get a T-copter over. So our priority is to make sure we protect the T-copter, and then just make sure that everything else is protected while we sneak our way over to HQ.
That's because when you play this map casually, actually, you think about capturing T's base over there, and you don't really realize that T's HQ is here. And you might realize that there is something interesting without HQ. Can you see it? If you don't, I'm going to show it. Or see it. Basically, the thing is, there is only one spot that you can access this HQ from the ground. So if there is no air units anymore, and you block the tile that is needed to access whatever is on the HQ, then, well, you're safe.
By the way, we just saw a bit of AI manipulation there. So that bomber is really dangerous that we just killed, but enemy AI tends to prioritize transport units, and it prioritized the APC unit, which was basically our bait. And as legrandgrand said, since there's only one tile that can reach the HQ, we have it blocked up with the T-copter, so that tank that is just trying to get to our infantry can't really get there because the T-copter is blocking it. And now we're done.
Easy. That's what we mentioned when we said, who in the world is that?
Who in the world is that?
That's what we said when we were trying to say when there was a lot of intended speed strats in this game, because that's clearly intended with the design. And there is so many instances where this is a thing that it cannot be a
coincidence.
A coincidence, yeah.
Like a lot of the technique rankings require like beating in that many turns, maybe like +1 or something. So like all of these strats are not the exact strats, but the general gist of them, that's like skipping the map by capturing HQ like that, is generally intended. So, we were just introduced to air units, now we're introduced to naval units. Again, we don't need to go over what cruisers, submarines, and battlecruisers are, but we will go over are what landers are. Can you guess what they do? They transport units. You might be noticing a trend here. So our goal is to make sure the landers stay safe, so we can sneak over an infantry to the HQ. That right there looks dangerous, but that's a battleship, and that's a ranged unit that cannot attack adjacent units. So that's actually safe.
Yep. And since we damage the top one, it cannot destroy my lander in one hit, which is perfectly just enough to...
Oh, how convenient. There aren't any blue units near the HQ. Let's just go ahead and capture it.
And the top right tank is actually stationary, so unless you attack it, it's not going to move. And so, yeah, at this point, I just win. There's nothing they can do.
Yep. And how capturing itself works is that buildings typically have 20 HP, and when you use the capture command, you lower that HP depending on how much HP the infantry has. And infantry have 10 HP, so like, typically it's important to make sure your infantry has full HP, because if it has like 5 HP, you're only reducing the HQ's HP by 5 per turn as opposed to 10.
Hooray!
Yo, that power ranking is really sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or
pacifist strats. Let's go, yep. We were on the same, yep, pacifist. All right, is the next map the defend map, I think?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
So we were introduced to Max on the previous map, and we had the choice between Max and Andy, and we went with Andy, so now the game forces us to go with Max.
Yeah, we never explained what Andy and Max do. There was a good reason for that, because Andy has literally nothing special. He's boring. But now we're using Max, and he's the opposite of Grits, who we talked about as a ranged specialist. Max is the opposite. He's a direct combat specialist, so all of his ranged units actually have one less range, and are weaker, so they suck, but like in return, all of his tanks, anything that attacks at one range are just way stronger. So this map is a survive for 5 turns. You can kind of see a blue enemy infantry sneaking over to our HQ. And it will capture it by turn 4, I think.
Turn 5.
Turn 5, and we need to defend for 5, 6 turns. I don't remember off the top of my head. Basically, what we're gonna do is try to camp a rocket, despite being Max, just so that it can shoot. Yeah, there we go. The HQ is in range of it. And we have a tank right above the rocket to deter any of the enemy 8 units from approaching us so we can keep it safe. And yeah, that's it. We're good to go.
So if you got any donations while we capture the HQ, go for it.
Oh, yes, we do. We have an anonymous $2,000 donation.
Ooh, wow.
And LGG, I think this one's at you. It just says, thanks for speedrunning one of my favorite GBA games.
Well, thanks for the donation.
We also have a $25 donation from Tashner that says, CO power activate, hyper donate. All MSF units recover plus 5 HP and gain plus 25 supply. I love Advance Wars, super excited for the run and cannot wait for the remaster to release for the Switch. Good luck to LGG, and Tech Crew is the best crew.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to the remaster.
Shout out to Tech as well.
Max's Folly, question mark? No, that went pretty well.
Yeah, fun fact, you can actually clear that in 5 turns if you route. Now I have no idea how Fiddle Wars managed to do it, but they did. So if you want to try and figure it out, it's a very, very cool puzzle.
All right, so this is the first map where we're introduced to Fog of War, where we can't really attack anything we can't see. We can only see each unit can only see like a specific number of tiles from where they are. Recon units are one example where they can see further. The most important thing to note about Fog of War in this game is that if a unit is in a coral reef or a forest, enemy units cannot see that unless they're next to it. So we're actually just camping our APC with an infantry into a forest. So there is a battleship below us that can attack us at range, but it can't actually see it because it doesn't have any units next to it. So that APC unit is safe.
Yep, and in order for the AI to move, they can see the whole map outside of forests and reefs. So it's actually very, very important to put that APC in the forest, because otherwise it would just die.
And we're going to see another instance of the city glitch, where that tank just attacked one of us from the city, but they're not going to do anything next turn. Which is very convenient, because we can just safely capture this. So, we take those. We take those.
And now everything else is just going to die, but we don't care. We've got our infantry, we've got our wincon. It's all good.
And another turn. You can kind of tell the difference between Fire Emblem strats and Advanced Wars strats. Advanced Wars just let everything die.
Yeah. Well, I could protect them if I really wanted to, but...
That costs time.
Yeah. It's like, better let the AI do something.
Keep this up and we'll drive Olaf out of here in no time.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so that was actually the last Blue Moon mission. So we'll never see the Blue Moon COs again. Because we're going to go travel around the world.
Versus question mark.
All right, Sammy is late. It's okay, she's here on time.
Yeah, so Sammy is the third CO we have access to, and my favorite personally, she's a infantry specialist. So all of her infantry and mech units, so again, all the little people running around, are stronger. And also, all of her transport units have +1 move. And if you've noticed the general trend of the speedrun, you can kind of realize that's pretty useful.
Yeah, so +1 move is actually like necessary in order to make the strat that I'm trying to make. Because they just happen to have just enough range in order to hit the HQ with that +1 range. How unfortunate. How fortunate. And on top of that, there is another ability that Sammy has. And we'll get to see it once we hit the HQ.
Yep. So if you remember when we captured HQ with our other COs, HQ's HP went from 20 to 10, and then 10 to 0. Well, you're about to see what happens with Sammy.
So there is a little asterisk on it.
20 down to 5. Let's go. And that's really important because that means our infantry can take a hit, but still capture in 2 turns, depending on their HP. So yeah, we actually just took a hit, and if this was any other CO, we can't capture in 2 turns because we can only bring its HP down to 4. But as Sammy, we get a 50% boost to capturing, so we can capture it even though we're not at full HP.
Now it's on to yellow command.
I'm really liking the first 5 seconds of our theme.
Yeah, it's kind of the shame of speedruns. You don't get to hear the awesome music in this game.
Yeah, every CO has their own unique theme, and like the music is great in this game. It's just too bad that due to the nature of speedruns, you want to go fast, meaning you want to be late. Well, not lazy, but you want to do as little as possible.
It's time for Max again.
All right, so we're Max. So this map, we're actually going to waste time on this map. We're fighting against Kambe, who all of his units cost 20% more, I think, but they all have an extra attack and defense buff. So he's kind of like the pricier, but everything is stronger bonus.
20% stronger, 20% more defense, and 20% more expensive. But he doesn't have to build anything on this map.
Right, so it's just, he's just
Cheater.
buff. He's a cheater. So we're actually, this is going to be one of a few times where we're actually going to clear the map by routing it instead of capturing HQ. And the reason is we want as few enemies as possible to move per turn because we are kind of bottlenecked in terms of turns. We don't want to clear this map too quickly, otherwise we unlock extra missions that we don't want to do.
If we clear all next 3 maps in a short amount of turns, we get 3 new maps that we don't want to play, obviously, because more maps means more gameplay.
Right. So we're pretty much going to be sort of hanging it back, clearing out the units so that we get less movement per turn.
I feel like we can really feel the strong boy little brain with this theme.
Max's theme is pretty great. So yeah, how many days do you have to wait? Like 9, I think?
I need to. So the threshold in order to unlock the side missions is finish in less than 8 turns. So we'll wait.
So you want to wait until day 8. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I think this is a good time for a quick few donations while we clean up and just burn turns.
No problem. This one has 3 exclamation points, but I don't want to blow anybody's ear out or anything. So Sam donates $100 and says, Advance Wars!
Woo!
DEG donates $100 and says, Advance Wars holds so many wonderful memories of high school bus rides with friends, passing a GBA back and forth for multiplayer. I can't wait to see how much better legrandgrand is than we were.
Not relatable. I remember those days.
Donation to Minecraft because we always need more GDQ. Completely agree. Folks, we still have plenty of time. We're about halfway there to reach the bonus game Minecraft Java Edition incentive, $125,000 goal, and we are currently at $63,000. So please feel free, get those donations to get more GDQ happening. Woo!
Okay, come back with choke points, and this time it's ours. Ooh.
Yeah, so Sammy's going to be useful here again because we want the +1 movement on our APC, which transport is the ground transport again. So we're going to be trying to capture the HQ, which is in the bottom right corner. And what we're going to try to do is bait all of these yellow units to go towards the right choke point.
Yeah, with this infantry to just, block the way.
Oh, hi, that rocket's in a convenient spot. Yeah, that nice range there, huh? How are we going to hold this choke point?
I wonder.
Right, well, I guess we'll worry about that. That's a problem for future legrandgrand.
Right. Now, the problem is I still need to get through, and I still need to destroy that M-tank. And that's pretty rough. But we have just enough firepower to do it.
Yeah, there's a big MD tank blocking our choke point, but...
Boom.
Boom, yep.
We're free!
Freedom! And then you'll kind of see next turn that when we drop our infantry, it's going to be exactly 3 tiles away from HQ. Meaning we needed every tile of movement we can get in order to capture next turn, start capturing, because we're Sammy. There we go.
You can actually clear with the same amount of turn, but with a route strat. But obviously, like, routing all those units is really slow. So
now that tank's coming at us, and it's like, oh, we have made a big mistake letting that rocket choke put point for us. So that tank looks like it can just destroy infantry, but, well, we're Sammy, so we can take damage and just capture in 2 turns anyways, so we're good. And GG.
This one belongs to me. Let's go, Sammy. All right.
Poor Kanbei.
Kanbei finally realizes that maybe he should build factories, so he'll have a factory on next map. Very well placed one. And again, Sammy is our choice.
You'll notice the pattern with Sammy.
Kanbei's got us surrounded.
On top of that, we have to seize properties to win. Looks like things are gonna get rough.
But look, this time we have an airport. What's an airport again? Do you guys know?
I don't know.
I'm not going to use it then.
Yeah, I don't know what an airport is. I want to hear. Legrand and I don't know what an airport is, so like I want to hear from the donations what you think an airport is, and just inform us on that. Okay? Let us know with your donations, please.
I don't know. I flew all the way here. I don't know what an airport is.
Yeah. All right. So we got some. I mean, like, why build? Like, do we have one? Oh yeah, we do have one. I don't know what it does, but we do have one apparently. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna use it though, because I don't know what it does. So why would I click it?
Yep.
It's not what you do. Okay. So in order to capture this HQ, what are you doing here, you? Oh, okay. Well, that has probably happened before, but that's very funny.
Yeah, so generally speaking, the speedrun for this game is pretty scripted. Like, there isn't going to be much variance in most maps with the enemy AI. There's technically, like, damage rolls, but, like, in some of the maps, you don't actually have any damage rolls. And, like, strats for most maps, with some few huge exceptions, are pretty static. Occasionally, you'll get, like, some enemy AI shenanigans where they behave a bit differently than usual. But maybe we should have tried checking out that airport. Maybe that's what happened.
Nah.
Yeah, we're fine.
So yeah, like 90% of the time the strat works, and then sometimes just there is a unit that's not going to move that's supposed to move, and you just can't do anything about it. So you just restart the mission.
Yeah, so that T-copter is still there, but it's supposed to move next turn, I'm guessing.
I hope it's going to move, because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't move.
Huh, interesting.
What am I doing wrong?
You forgot an airport, that's what happened.
I'm gonna try something. Now, I've seen that happen like maybe once, but twice in a row, that's...
That's never happened before, right?
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, let's try that. Let's try soft reset. Maybe that will change things up.
I was gonna joke if this is RNG manipulation, but like, with the
At this
nature of
point,
this
it
game,
might
it might
be.
actually be.
Like, there is potential for RNG manipulation, but there's so little gains from doing it that no one has really looked into it.
Yeah, like the strats are just very scripted in general, so usually.
Like, I think some people actually looked into it and realized that there was nothing interesting to do with it.
Yeah, because like in Advanced Wars, you don't have to worry about, like, if we're comparing it to Fire Emblem, for example, you don't have to worry about like hit rates, crit rates, level ups and stuff. Like the only real luck to around a combat is like a damage roll, which usually doesn't matter.
What are you doing? Okay. How can I improv that?
Let's see.
Because that doesn't kill. Yeah.
A fighter doesn't kill. Oh, it's a 5 HP fighter. 7 HP.
I bet this is gonna fail. But...
Distractions. Well, one thing to note that we haven't mentioned is that the AI likes to prioritize transportation units. So like if they can reach a T-copter or a APC unit or something, then they will typically go after that.
Okay, that would have worked. Nice. Okay. So we're good. We're safe. That was scary. All right, so I didn't need to use the power here in order to capture because I had just enough range. But since that gives me plus 10% defense, that's just enough to actually still have HP in order to capture the HQ.
Yeah, because without that power, you'd probably go down like 3 HP, 2 HP. I'm not sure how much, but that works out. Nice.
I did it! I won! Funny game.
5 days. Common-base error? Question mark? See, we didn't need an airport to win.
No.
That might have been common-base error using an airport.
All right, it's time for Max again.
So we're going to be playing against Drake. Drake is the opposite of Eco. He is a naval specialist. Or I actually don't know how to pronounce that. But anyways, he's a bow specialist. Weather, it can be random in this map, I believe.
Yes, every turn there is a chance for the weather to change. It can be rain, which doesn't do anything for the speedrun, or it can be snow, which has a really low chance to happen. And if it happens, well, it's going to be funky.
So we've got just a few submarines and cruisers. Just basically, they're ready to tank stuff for us and distract the enemy. And also just help clear a path for the lander to move safely. So again, we have the lander.
It wasn't supposed to do that.
Aww.
Mix up the units. So the problem with the strats that we have is that sure they are really fast, but if you mess up one thing in the strat, there's a really high chance that you just fail.
It's like due to the scripted nature of most of the strats, they're very all or nothing. So if you make even a tiny mistake, then everything goes out of whack, and the best thing to do is just start over and try it again. In most cases.
This guy.
Yo, it's Max team. I'm glad we got to enjoy more than 5 seconds of it. Oh, never mind. I do like Drake's team though.
It's pretty Navy-ish.
It's like, it kind of gets you pumping a little bit, I think.
I really find it so interesting that the themes of the games just matches you so well.
So what we're doing is we just hit the lander inside the reef. And again, in a fog of war, enemies you cannot see units in reefs unless you're next to them. So right now, Drake cannot see or attack our lander because it's hidden in a reef. So now we're just going to sneak it across.
Well, first off, I need to destroy this battleship because otherwise it's going to destroy our infantry.
And again, the battleship we just destroyed is a ranged unit that will just destroy infantry in one hit.
And yeah, now there is no indirect unit that can actually hit the infantry. So change weather, doesn't matter. At this point, whatever weather we have is just going to be a waste of time because of the little cutscene.
And again, we use Max because we're using a lot of direct combat for the water.
It's also a little gimmick that there is in this Green Earth maps, is that every COs have a different map. So we actually don't really pick the maps for the COs, we pick them for the map. And so the next map is a very prime example to that.
Oh, is it the map I'm thinking of?
Yep.
Love it. This strat's great.
It is. So there's more gimmicks than just route or capture the HQ, because that's a general theme. There was a map where we could capture properties to win, but we just decided to take the HQ. Here it's a survival map where we have to keep the missiles that are just putting that lander alive for 10 turns.
Right. And that, if you missed it, we moved the missile into the lander. The lander is the boat that's kind of in the north, kind of hiding in a reef. So we just need to keep that alive for 10 turns.
And since the AI doesn't see anything in the reef, it just sees that there is no unit to attack, so it's just not going to do anything. So basically now we just have to waste turns in order to finish the map. So while we do that, you can go ahead and with some donations if you have some. Now maybe someone can tell me what an airport is.
Yeah, I would still like to hear the donations to explain what an airport is to me.
They are rolling in. We did get a $10 donation from Wooba Dubsman that says, so excited to see Advance Wars played at GDQ, and even more excited to try to answer the most important question of them all. What's an airport?
What is an airport?
Oh,
Well.
maybe someone else will know.
Folks, if you can answer that, get your donations in now.
Day 5. We got more time for donations. 5 more turns. Let's go.
Fantastic.
Keep them coming.
We have a $10 donation from Go7 that says, Go7 here from the competitive Advanced Wars scene, sending all my energy to legrandgrand for the final mission.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that map is a pain. So if you want to keep playing Advance Wars, by the way, there is a cool community called Advance Wars by Web, and they basically made that game in website, and you can play against people competitively. And it's pretty great. There is a big community around it.
Tough battles are the best. I mean, I guess that's a tough battle.
Yeah.
I like how your name is SCB. Where did that come from?
So I bought this game from a flea market, and I never changed the name of the guy who made the cartridge. So yeah, SCB, that one's for you.
Right. So if you are watching the stream right now and this is your cartridge, I want to hear a donation from you, SEV. I can't wait for like 10 faker donations to come in.
Yeah, well, they will have to speak French too because.
It was from France. Yeah, I imagine you bought this in France. So.
Yeah.
All right. So you know the drill. There's like HQ on our right side, fog of war. We're gonna try to sneak over some units, sneak over an infantry over, and just use some bait, capture.
And win. Now, the fun fact about this map is it's the exact same for Andy, except there is no fog of war, so this strat doesn't work, even if we had even if he had the movement for it. That should be good.
See, in this case, we're actually using a mech, which is an infantry type unit. They're basically stronger infantry, but they only have 2 moves instead of 3.
Yeah.
They're considered really good because they're just so cheap.
Well, they're 3 times more expensive than infantries.
But they're triple the price of infantry, but they still have like a lot of firepower for their price.
Yeah. The interesting thing with this with mechs is that they have a tiny bit more defense, so it's going to allow this strat to work.
Because we're gonna bring this HQ down to 5, and we're gonna be taking a hit with the mech.
Not any hit. It's going to be a hit from a bomber. Now, bombers are the strongest units in the game. They can just one-shot
Those are
pretty much
bombers.
anything.
Those are bombers right there. They are anti-ground flying units, and they just hit you like a truck.
Yep.
So, but the fact that we even survived a full HP bomber says a lot about how much defensive buffs we got, while being on a city as well, which gives you another defensive buff.
And GG.
There you go.
He's not such a bad guy. Boy, is he stubborn. You can definitely tell that Sammy has a thing for Eagle there. What? No, just me? Okay.
I think they have like in Dual Strike they have like there's like a really popular combo people like doing with.
Yeah, it's and like it's pretty canon actually. Like I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Anyway,
Okay,
so this map is pretty interesting because for a while I was doing Andy's mission, and then when I did the ILs for this game, where I tried to finish the maps with as little turn as possible and the max rank, turns out that this map actually had a more consistent strategy. And also, it turns out that if you try to do it in a speedrun setting, so don't care about any units outside of what is very necessary, it's about 3 seconds. It was about 3 seconds faster. And then the world record holder, Silicon Squid, actually came up with a slightly better strat that makes it faster. So, yay.
Oh, hey, we're in a forest. That's convenient.
Yep. On top of that, this mission is really interesting because you have to keep this very infantry that I just put in the middle of the enemy's HQ area alive. If it dies, you lose. So I'm going to use this infantry to actually capture it and win.
And yeah, that infantry is hidden in the forest, so no one can see it. And it's conveniently enough that forest is exactly 3 tiles away from HQ, and you can't help but just feel that's intentional.
Yeah, and
Like,
really,
this game is so cleverly designed.
when you route LTCs, you just realize that everything just works. It just 1 tile away, everything. The ranges on units too, like it's just perfect. I love this game.
So that's the reason.
All right, on to the scary missions. You might have realized, like, there is 3 missions left, and we are only halfway through the estimate. But those missions are definitely interesting. Like, up until now, it was basically tutorial, where we explain, like, advanced stuff about the game. There is, like, 30 maps, which are also tutorials.
Wait. We're playing against Andy?
Oh, yeah, I'm playing against Andy.
Wait, so who's the real Andy then? Is he a faker?
Faker?
Ha! I found you, faker! All right, so this is a bit of an annoying mission because we're teaming up with Eagle, who is AI controlled. And we don't really have any control over what he does, so we just kind of hope he cooperates. What?
Okay.
Okay.
attacks the faraway bomber.
I mean, green units in Fire Emblem do a lot of stupid, silly stuff. Like, and he's green, so it follows the same pattern.
Yeah, the same pattern.
No, well, the faker Andy knows what he's doing apparently. So maybe we aren't good enough to be his fake.
Because yeah, this mission is mostly really long because there is like Eagle and Andy fighting, and so there's a lot of units around. So that takes forever.
We do have some airports. You want to
Oh.
you want to hear
Oh
a
yeah,
couple?
go ahead.
Okay, here we go. So Bugenhagen donates $250 and says an airport is an area designated for the takeoff and landing of the aircraft, including one or more runways and one or more passenger terminals. You're welcome.
Oh, thank you.
The dictionary definition. Thank you so much.
Okay.
BZ Archer donates $5 and says, what is an airport? A miserable pile of layovers. Now, have at you.
And any more?
Yeah, we do. We have
Keep
a
it coming.
Crash Boom Bang donates $25 and says, hey, Grand and Kirby.
Hello.
This donation coming from Ursa and everyone else in the FE efficiency server. The run isn't quite Fire Emblem, but it's close enough.
You know, no Fire Emblem in this run, but hey, in the it is no surprise that both of us run Fire Emblem.
Absolutely. And then as for the airport question, I think it's a tornado that only turns left. Port means left, right? Good luck.
Oh, so we get to see Andy's CO power, or the Faker CO power, which doesn't really do anything besides heal everyone like 5 HP. 3 HP, I don't remember.
It's 2 HP.
2 HP, okay, so I was wrong on both accounts. It really goes to show how well I know this game.
Okay, see if this one makes sense to you. Stop Boo Rider donates $5 and says, an airport is where you plug in the air, obviously.
Ah, that's what.
I approve. I can tell the audience really loved that joke too.
All right, so yeah, as you can see, very easy map. Once you manage to keep that T-copter alive, all the tanks are not realizing what's going on.
And I was just like, oh no, we need to come back.
Oh no!
Oh no.
We owe it all to Eagle.
Do you agree? I mean, he did some work. He did some work.
He did some work. He managed to destroy bombers and battleship. All right, so like this mission is scary because it's pretty random with whatever the AI does. Now those 2 missions against Darth Vader himself, that's a whole different story.
You'll see why you call him Darth Vader.
Hello.
Hello there. So Sturm is broken. So Sturm has the innate ability for all of his units to ignore terrain penalties, like when moving. So like normally when you have a tank, you lose like, it takes a lot of move to go through each force tile. But you'll soon see how he moves his units on his turn. And like, just in this mission alone, he has like a 20% defense debuff, nerf.
On the next mission as well.
Yeah, so just because he's so broken. Like, look at that. Look at how they're just blitzing through all the forests.
Forests are usually 2-tile movements, so they're just...
Oh, look, saw the rocket. Look at that, look at it.
A rocket normally is like, you go through one forest and then that's it. You don't move anymore. But Storm doesn't care.
Yep. Yeah, Storm is pretty broken. So they like intentionally nerfed him in the campaign to be manageable.
And even then, like, it's...
He's still very good.
Very tough. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, rip music.
So we used to do this map with Max for a while, just route everything. Simple and clean. But we managed to figure out a way to make this strat consistent with Sammy. And so we'll see how this works out. Well, and then it's Silicon Squid is the one who holds the record. There is some funny story with him. So at first he was the one holding the record. It was a pretty slow run, barely optimized, but it was okay. Like he managed to finish the run, props to him, and route everything when no one has ever done any work on it. Then I picked up the game and I made everything much more consistent, much more clean, except for like the 2 final missions where I just did kind of whatever. And he came back to the game like 3 or 4 years after my run. I was like, yo, you managed to beat my record, congrats, that's so cool. I'm going to come back to this game and try to beat you. I was like, yeah, cool. And yeah, we managed to drop the record down to like 40-ish minutes now.
Yeah, it was in the lower 40s. I don't remember off the top of my head.
And yeah, all that just because I picked up the game and he was like, yeah, let's come back and have some competition around it.
Yep, so it's an example of a lot of cooperation and also healthy competition, pushing the time down.
Yeah.
Always good to see that.
All right, so the idea here is to bring the T-copter all the way to the right and make sure it survives. Now, making sure it survives is a difficult part, but hopefully we can get that to work.
So I noticed Sturm is making some stuff from his factory. Is that random, like what he makes?
Yes, what he makes is random, and that's what makes this strat kind of complicated. What he makes, and also a little bit the movement. but more what he makes.
Because if he makes like an MD tank there, then that might cause some issues because you can't survive it.
Yep, and the reason why this works is that somehow the strat that we're doing makes it so it's pretty consistent what he builds. So I think that's good, but I'm
doing
just
some
going
safety
to
saves here
keep it
because,
safe.
again, like just due to the nature of strats for this kind of game, it's all or nothing. If something goes wrong, then you have to just redo the entire map.
Yeah, if
We're
this
doing a
mech
safety
dies, then it's over. I lost all my army on the left. I'm getting run over. He's got all the economy. There's no way to win. On top of that, I use Semi. Oh yeah, no, I can't do that. I'll have to wait one more turn.
So I'm guessing you're waiting for like an opening to drop the mech unit before trying to capture.
I need basically I need the anti-air to move away from the HQ and not come back here, and it moved back, so it's unfortunate. That's fine.
Let's see. Yeah, this seems pretty awesome. All right, so the MD tank's still there.
Yeah, that's normal, but I'm going to bait it out with the...
Oh yeah, because the tank is going to go after the teacopter because of the AI, right?
Yep.
Because as a reminder, the AI likes to prioritize transport units like APCs and teacopters, like that. Oh, let's target the transportation unit instead of the infantry that's about to capture our HQ.
And so now I'm just going to block the bridge, use my power to actually reach. If you actually use an infantry on this map, then the M tank actually doesn't move for whatever reason.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's why he needs the mech.
And like almost nothing can reach us from here. The infantry's gonna do nothing. There's like a battleship that hit us, I think, but we're Sammy, so we're fine.
Actually,
hopefully. Oh.
Yeah. I know what happened. I was lazy and I didn't attack with the submarine. 2 HP is too low to keep going. I shouldn't have been lazy. That's on me.
I see. Okay.
That's what I wanted to do. Nice buffer.
Misclicks happen. Feels bad when it happens.
We're burning all the bad luck for before the final mission.
So this is all totally RNG manipulation for the last map. Don't worry.
I hope it's true. So like if you feel like this map is hard, wait for the next mission. And anyone who's played this game definitely remembers the last mission as being a giant mess.
Probably taking casuals like over an hour to finish the last mission. It's so big.
If they actually manage to.
Yeah.
This last mission is really no joke.
Like we're literally like in the penultimate mission. We still have like 20 minutes left in Espen. There is a reason for that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It's all a buffer for the final mission. Yeah, now the battleship is on heal AI, so...
So by heal AI, what he means by heal AI is that when an enemy unit's like low on HP, then they're going to want to run away to like a factory or an airport, apparently, I think. Right? That's what an airport does? Yeah, I think airports heal units, I think. Yeah, they're just going to run away to get heals. Okay. So yeah, you saw the battleship just go to a, port. I think that's called a port.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of the airport, the King's Pride donates $50 and says, everyone asks, what is airport? But nobody ever asks, how is airport?
All right.
That's it.
Now we win.
Woo!
If we don't stop the second last soon, Eagle might.
I think this game is pushing them. Sammy and Eagle.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just a little bit.
So on this map, Sturm was nerfed because, as you could see, it didn't use this power, and this power never built. That's because they are keeping it for this mission. And now, in order to deal with it, we're going to have not just one seal, as you can see here, but 3 seals at the same time with 3 different armies.
Yeah, this is a pretty big map. So we have Andy in the center as red, Max is blue on the left side, and Sammy is green on the right side.
Yep. And we're fighting this.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he's got the seal power, and we'll see really soon.
You'll see what it does. So Andy's role, for the most part, is basically to distract everything. Because, his role is to distract everything. So we're just going to keep building units just so like Sturm tries to go down to center. We might actually have Andy lose. That's okay. Max's role is kind of just to get set up with as many direct units as possible as a direct unit specialist, so that when he's got all of his units in the upper left corner, he can just start plowing a path for Sammy to go through and try to capture. So Sammy's role is the usual Sammy thing, get a transport unit with an infantry so she can get ready to capture. And she's also going to be helping with baits. So there's a lot going on.
And it's very, very random, so...
Yeah, this is like the map where you just, everything can go wrong. There's just nothing, no script to it really. You just have to improvise it completely.
Well, I have a basic plan, but that's about it. So first off, we have to take care of all those aircrafts.
Yeah, so those are,
Thankfully,
half of those are, the big thick ones are bombers, as we mentioned. They're anti-ground units, whereas the thin ones are fighters, and they are anti-air units, and they will kill anything in the air, basically.
Okay.
But thankfully, we have a lot of our own anti-air, because those are literally called anti-air, so they do a lot of damage to any air units.
And this is a missile, so indirect anti-air.
Yep. Yeah, we never really explain what those do, but there's a lot going on, so it's all good.
That's good so far.
And that's a B-copter, which is kind of like it's not great, but it's the cheapest combat unit, so it's kind of well-rounded.
It's also known as bait.
Yeah, it's good for bait in this map. So we're just using all of our anti-air to destroy all these flying units because we're max. Max buffs anti-air because they're direct.
Max good.
Max good. He got horribly nerfed in later games.
Yeah, because he was just too good. Okay, now this is just bait again.
And Sammy turn. Boom.
Now the problem is power builds as a comeback mechanic. So if you lose too many units, then suddenly you will have your power. And what's so scary with Sturm's power? Well, you'll see.
You'll see what it does. So So to prepare for Sturm's power, we're going to be building some units. And he's going to use it. There we go.
Here's a taste of my power.
Here we go.
Totally not a cheater.
Boom. Now everything's at 2 HP. Cool. And in this game, your HP also affects your offense. So like if you're at 5 HP compared to 10, you're only doing half damage.
So basically now Andy's wiped out. He's out of the game.
He's out. He's just going to be distraction.
We lost one third of our unit just with one press of a button. Great. And it keeps building more. This map is very fair.
Fair and balanced.
As we do like that. Okay.
So I'm guessing you're having Andy just kind of drop more units at the front to be more bait.
Yeah, more bait on the top left, and then I need to take care of as many copter as possible because these are painful to deal with. Otherwise,
yeah, like we're literally just building a bunch of infantry, which they're very, very bad for combat. They're just literally there as baits.
I want to save because now we've got a pretty okay position. It's still neutral. I'm not committed to too much. We don't have any mistakes happen yet, so good to go.
What is that bomber doing?
It just destroyed an APC.
Oh, right, because, okay, the elect part of the
So
APC.
now it's dead.
See ya. So again, we're trying to get Max set up with all of his tanks in the upper left corner. So once we have an opening, we just plow a path for Sammy to capture.
And it would be a real shame if Sturm decided to use all power on Max.
Yeah, because that kind of kills all of his offense. So what Sammy's role is here is to build as much bait as possible. So Meteor Strike prioritizes dealing as much economic damage as possible. So we're just kind of making a ball of expensive units so we can bait the Meteor Strike away from Max. Another fun thing is that when using Meteor Strike or for enemy AI in general, when they see a ranged combat unit, they see their value as double. So artillery have cost 6,000, but for the purposes of calculating who to target with Meteor Strike, they cost 12,000. So you'll see legrandgrand building more green artillery units in the bottom right corner to raise the, what's it called? Price, I guess?
The value?
The value, yeah, the value of that bottom right corner to almost guarantee that Meteor Strike will go after Sammy and not Max. So basically more bait.
Okay. And Andy is going to keep on building infantries because they're really cheap and they're really good at not dying in one hit. Pretty much. Well, that is if you're not.
We want all of these like black units down here to just be distracted so that they stay away from Max's units. Because we need to like conserve as much of Max's health units as possible before the big push we make.
That is bait. Okay. Big push begins now.
Oh, you're going for it now. Nice.
Well, we're going to set it up now.
Okay, getting set up. Okay, gotcha.
Because like the problem now is that we have to get through that corridor of death in the middle. And there's a forest blocking the way. So forest for me is 2 movement costs. For Sturm, it's only 1. So you can clearly see that like I'll have some problems that Max won't have. That's fine. Max, I mean Sturm. Whatever.
Right. Building more artillery to bait the meteor strike to the bottom right corner.
Bringing this mix.
Again, more bait, more bait.
They can actually do damage and help out when they survive. I've realized in practice. That's it. So now the bomber is going to be in heal AI, which is why I kept it at 1 HP, and that's fine.
Yeah, so that bomber that just moved is at 1 HP, so it's not going to attack anything.
Oh, nice. You got some free hits.
Ooh, that's a lot of units at the front.
Now is when I go, how am I going to go through all of this? And that's a very valid question, because I have no idea for now. That'll do. More of that. Power for good measure. Okay.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
I think that's safe to save now.
This looks scary because
I need 2 power. So using Max's power gives me even more strength. And on top of that, it also gives me +1 movement with my unit. Because that was totally needed.
oh yeah, to get that weakened anti-air out of the way. Yeah.
I'm more like this guy. And also +1 movement is great.
Boom. Boom.
163, by the way.
Yes, this is the power of Max and his CO power.
Actually, this is a dream position. Wow. Okay.
Boom.
We might be.
You might be in the clear.
I'm not going to say that too early. This map can.
Well, you can blame me because I jinxed it.
So dropping this infantry here, it's safe. Actually, it's safer than it looks like.
Yeah, because it's surrounded by blue unit. Our what's it called? Max's units. Except for on the right side, which is blocked by an APC, and that's not going to attack. And there aren't any ranged units there either from Sturm, so we're probably fine. But I guess time will tell. Right.
We'll see on this turn.
Fingers crossed.
So another one.
Ooh. Okay, we're good. For that, at least.
There can be one more if things go south. I hope they won't.
Okay. Yeah, so he has an MD tank he just built.
No, it's there since the start.
Oh, okay. Because again, Sturm builds at the end of every turn, so we have to kind of react depending on what he builds.
Okay, that's fine.
So.
Can I actually destroy that thing?
Oh, okay, that's
6 we're good.
okay. And he built missiles and rockets, which do not counterattack because they're both ranged. So you're probably fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Like they're really fragile from to direct combat, so you should be able to plow through.
Okay, and he has only that kind of for units. So that's just enough range.
Nice.
Now it's a question.
So your goal is, I'm guessing your goal is to clear out the missile and the rocket next to. Well, the rocket doesn't matter, does it?
It kind of does.
Okay. So
Actually,
legrandgrand kind of wants to set up so that he can get his, make sure that the green infantry is surrounded so that none of the tanks can reach it. And we also kind of want to see if we can block off the factory so that Sturm can't build anything.
That's good. Sure, go okay. Do that. Do that. Come here. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Truth.
This is the moment of truth. So again, +1 move from double time.
If any of the 2 infantries that I have on the field die, it's over, by the way. If you didn't realize how sketchy this whole thing is.
Those tanks? Oh, I see, okay. So you're blocking that tank.
And I'm destroying this because these things can be sketchy, but I think I'm good.
Right.
From here, I think I'm good. I'm going to keep it safe and keep building here. But
Yeah, because there's a decent chance he has the CO power already.
no, he just used it. So
Again? Oh, okay.
unless I destroy too many things, because again, it's a comeback factor, not really how many units I destroy. Because even if that builds, if you destroy units, you get like twice as more if you lose units. So it's
Is that MD tank gonna reach?
it should attack the MD tank, or well.
Oh wait, that works.
Okay,
Okay, I think
that's-
you're good. Time will be coming up, I think.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, time in once I capture the HQ. 3, 2, 1, time.
No!
Good run.
GG. Sturm has the most important line in the game.
Yeah, I skipped it by accident, but
That's okay.
yeah, it's a Darth Vader.
He screams, no, like Darth Vader. That's why he calls him that. So, I think that about wraps things up. But have we gotten any more donations?
Do you want another airport joke?
Yeah, let's go for one.
How about one more? This is Ginger Mess that donates $50 and says, I was going to make an airport joke, but it probably wouldn't land.
Perfect.
Let's go. GG.
So yeah, thanks GQ for having me, and thanks a lot to the French restream. Big shout out to them. They're doing an awesome job out there restreaming this event. And also, if you want to run Advance Wars or any Advance Wars, there is a Discord for it. We're like 5 people, so don't be scared. We are nice people. And yeah, if you want to get into running that, if you want to get into LTCs as well, we can have a room for that because there is a place for it.
LTC means low turn count, by the way.
Oh yeah, like it's some super fun challenges. If you love the game casually, you want to replay it, but don't want to do a speedrun where you have to retry over and over and over again. Just want to look into all the maps as puzzles. It's really fun. I've got quite a few maps as solutions on my channel. But yeah, Advance Wars is a super fun game, and I can't wait for the remaster on the Switch. So hopefully we can have that soon on Nintendo. That would be great.
Be sure to follow him, by the way, on Twitch. Twitch.tv/legrandgrand. You can see it on the stream layout.
Yeah.
And where can people find your Discord for the Advanced Wars speedrunning and LTC?
It's on speedrun.com, and if anyone wants to message me on Twitter, I can link it there. It's fine. I'm available. And well, that was Advance Wars. Thanks for watching.
Hope you enjoyed.
GG legrandgrand. What a great run. We have a $100 donation from Captain Tempest that says, incredibly happy to see GD return to a live event and excited for the back-to-back Pokemon and Donkey Kong runs coming up. How I've missed the sound of that audience. Can I get some hype from the crowd? That's right, folks, and you can still donate. The bid war going on for the Pokemon Emerald Pokemon name is still up there. It's a close race. There are 3 names that are in a very tight race, all over $1,000, but you can still influence it with your donations. Get them in right now. We're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2022. We are going to keep this thing rolling along. I'm excited. I have no idea what we're about to hand it off to, but we're going to send it over to the prize team over at the prize table. What have you got for us?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick here live in Bloomington. My name is Frozen Flagon, and I am here with, of course, Mr. Game and Shout and...
Hello.
And Keys Run? Don't you have somewhere to be right now?
Keys. The run. You gotta... The run. Your run.
You gotta get on stage.
Next. Go.
Okay. Well, as Keys
in
goes
the zone.
Absolutely in the zone. You know, getting that good practice in. Well,
right.
While we're getting set up for that incredible Pokemon run that's going to be happening next, we have a lot of amazing prizes and a lot of amazing Pokemon over here. You want to talk about some of those?
Yes, absolutely. Now, the prizes we're going to be showing you, with a couple of exceptions we'll tell you about later, are available through the end of the Pokemon Emerald Randomizer run, this very next run. Once they are gone, they are gone. So get donations in. You don't want to miss them. $50 will get you in to win everything that we are going to show you available in this block. We're going to bring out some highlights, but it's quite a long list for this block. So gamesdonequick.com, click on the donate link. You can see all the prizes we have available, find out more information. Starting off with dice, because I love dice. I mean, I've got dice on my shirt.
That's perfect.
I'm an old school tabletop gamer. From Long Dog Dice, we have this absolutely beautiful Tunic D20. It has the fox buried inside. You can kind of make little guy out in there. This thing is so cool. I have not tried rolling it yet because, again, I don't want it to get my bad luck. Whoever wins it, you have the honor of the first roll. $10 minimum donation gets you entered to win this.
Absolutely. And again, for a $10 minimum donation, we've got the 3 starters from the Hone region. We've got Trico and Mudkip and Torchic all here. The entire set is a $10 minimum donation. You don't even have to choose between them. You can get them all. And I absolutely love these Pearlers.
So cute.
Yeah, the Hone region is, of course, my favorite. Kind of obvious.
Absolutely. And Pearl Pop's work is always incredible. This is another one of their fantastic matte finishes. It's just absolutely gorgeous melt work. So thank you so much for sending that in.
Yeah, absolutely. And still rolling on the $10 if you get your minimum donation $10 in. We also have this gorgeous Jirachi painting by Carolyn Design. I just love that it's in its own little Pokeball home.
It's so cute. It looks so comfy.
It is. That's the thing. There, it has its own environment that matches its energy, and Jirachi just has this, celestial beauty that I absolutely adore. And the coloring on this and the shading, the blending between the different colors is just absolutely stunning. So this is a $10 minimum donation. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for sending this in to us.
Absolutely. You all may be noticing, Court's talking about all of these Pokemon prizes. The last time I played a Pokemon game, there were only 150. I'm gonna date myself there. I don't know most of these Pokemon, so but this one I have seen before, and Chaos Crochet Shop is setting us up for a $15 minimum donation. You can get entered to win this Amigurumi Master Ball. It is cute, it is soft, it is wonderful. I am a big fan. Thank you so much again, Chaos Crochet Shop, for sending this in. $15 minimum donation. You are automatically entered to win.
Absolutely, and of course we also have some other little cuties. We have this Mudkip plush given to us by Pincushion Cat Plushies. I absolutely adore Mudkip. I think it's just. Look at his little face. I love his expression. It's also it's just laying down. It's just blobbing. And I love that posture. I love the pose of it. Just like it's surfing.
You love your flat friends. We all know.
I love it, exactly.
You are big on flat friends.
Exactly. So this is a $20 minimum donation. Thank you again for this prize.
Something else that $20 donation will get you in to win. From KO Clara, again, the paperwork that they have sent in is always amazing. And this Tunic Fox paper art is no exception. Absolutely gorgeous, just a little bit of a shadow element on it. So it's raised up off the background. Just stunning, really fantastic. $20 minimum donation will get you entered to win this. I also want to call out for $50, only available until the end of the Pokemon Emerald Randomizer run. We still have a bunch of Sonic prizes, including the Chow statue collection. Those are 3 Chow statues. We have a good one, they're all good ones. Let's just be honest. And they're all adorable. $50 minimum donation gets you in to win that. Also available right now is our day prize. This is open a little bit longer. This is going to be through the end of Banjo-Tooie, but I don't want to go one of these segments without calling it out. From our friends at Finji, makers of Tunic, we have this incredible Xbox Series X custom painted. I'm going to try and turn this the right way so the camera gets a good look at it.
That is Stunning.
Tunic artwork. This is a $100 single donation. It is available through the end of Banjo-Tooie. If you are interested in this, I know it seems like that's a long time. Things move fast. Get that donation in soon. Put it towards some of our awesome incentives. We're still, about 60K away from getting Minecraft added to the marathon.
Exactly.
You can check out the full list of incentives, bid wars, and other things on our website, gamesdonequick.com/donate. Check out the prizes, get your donation in.
Absolutely. And the thing is, if you donate for the $100 for this, you're halfway to our grand prize.
Exactly. The Heroic Replicas Grand Prize Bundle is, again, truly spectacular. We have Sly Cooper's cane. We have the falchion from Fire Emblem. 4 other items in there as well. You can see the full list. Well, there's some pictures of it right there on your screen. You can find the full list of items at our website. Head over, get your donation in, check it out.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for doing this prize segment with me.
Always a pleasure.
I know we're really excited to see some Pokemon.
This is
It's
going to be
amazing. So thank you all so much. We'll see you later for more prizes.
Take care.
Okay, folks, we are getting things ready for that Pokemon run. I'm going to sign off. My name's LattMackey. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to leave you in the more than capable hands of Nicole coming up next on the hosting duties. Thank you so much, and keep on donating. You still have time left for that Pokemon bid war going on now.
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2022. I am Nicole Goodnight, and I will be your host for this upcoming Pokemon Emerald Randomizer run. Oh, look at you all! Thank you. I am so excited to be here. This is going to be such an amazing run. I'm going to tell you about a couple really cool things we have going on for it. If we hit $800,000 raised during the run, we will beat Steven. So we are actually only about $129,000 away from that. You know what? We've got this. It's a fairly long run. We've got this. Also, every $10,000 raised, we'll be evolving a Pokemon once we're a little bit into the run. So keep that in mind. And there is still the open incentive for the Pokemon Emerald Pokemon name. Right now, Bees is in the lead, followed by Fluttershy. So if you have a preference, go ahead and get that in. Bees? Overwhelming bees? All right, I got you. And of course, audience, Twitch chat, you know the deal with Pokemon runs. If you want to donate your favorite Pokemon number's Pokédex number, along with their name, I will go ahead and read that out. We have $197 from Ilian. It's Pokemon time, and that means Dex donation time. Here is $197 from my favorite shiny Pokemon, Umbreon. I'll donate another $50 if any runner gets Espeon or Umbreon during their evolution chaos. Thank you so much for your donation. I am so excited for this. This is going to be such a chaotic run. It is going to be absolutely amazing. Gothblin donates $1,000. I took the week off work, and I expect this Pokemon Emerald randomizer run to be one of the highlights. Shen's comments about Bulbasaur being unrunnable helped raise thousands in outraged donations during the Pokemon Crystal run back at AGDQ 2022. I can't wait to see which Pokemon's fandom he infuriates this time around. Also thrilled to see Chris, Keys, and Adaf running, and all in person with a live crowd. Thanks to all of you, the other runners, hosts, organizers, and everyone else. Thank you. It's because of people like you that we are able to do this. It's because of all of you that we can even raise this money for Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization providing life-saving medical humanitarian care in over 70 countries around the world. MSF is committed to independence, impartiality, and neutrality. These principles are what make it possible for MSF to respond rapidly to emergencies and provide life-saving medical care in situations where many other organizations can't or won't. 90% of MSF staff is national, meaning they live locally and are from the country where they work. So all of this is for them. You all have already raised $675,000 for them. Give yourself a hand. That's absolutely amazing. I have $500 from Anonymous that says, let's go. Thank you. Let's go. Thank you so much, Anonymous. That donates $10, less than 3 to whoever sees this. Well, that is everyone. Thank you so much. Less than 3 to you as well. And of course, we are still going towards the Minecraft incentive. I have $25 from Save the Kajits that says Minecraft speedrun. Yes, please. I agree. I think that's going to be amazing. Princess Neko Cakes with $35. I'm donating $35 for my favorite Pokemon with Pokédex number 35, Clefairy. Hey all, donate your favorite Pokemon's Pokédex number and let's meet that Minecraft bonus game incentive. Also, when you are donating, if you want it to go to the incentive, make sure you are selecting that in your donation. You will still be entered for any prizes and your donation is going to just go to multiple things. Let's go Clefairy. I have $25 from Boots42. What's a donation again? Well, you know, I think you just did it. Thank you so much.